there, I'm Amanda Castor with Material Girl Quilts. Today I'm here to show you how to make the Stack 'em Up quilt. Now this quilt is made using pre-cut 10-inch squares or layer cakes, and as you can see by the quilt behind me, it's a fun, simple design, but it's a nice modern look. And this pattern is easy for beginners, and it's a fun, quick finish for any experienced quilter. But if you're a beginner quilter, this is a great one to start with. What you're going to need to make this quilt top is 30 10-inch pre-cut squares. So you can purchase a layer cake. Those usually come with 40 to 42 squares in them, or you can use scraps or fabric from your stash. But you will need a total of 30 10-inch squares. And for each of those squares, you're going to cut them the same. So you will cut each of the pre-cut squares into 3 different rectangles. The first rectangle will be 5.5 inches wide, and then the second is 3 inches, and the last is 1.5 inches. So we'll go ahead and do that now. So we start with 5.5 inches. And then next we cut at 3 inches. And then the remaining rectangle is 1.5 inches wide. So now to piece these blocks, it's very simple. You will use some of the background fabric, and according to the pattern instructions, it will tell you how much of this background fabric you need and what size to cut everything. So to make the blocks, you will take the 3 rectangles you just cut from your pre-cut 10-inch squares, and in between each of those cut rectangles you will place a background rectangle that's 10 inches by 1.5 inches. So you will lay them as shown, and then once you sew them together, your block will measure 10 inches by 11 inches. Now when I pressed the pressing for this block, I decided to press towards the darker fabric, so away from the background fabric in these, and it also helps just press away from the skinny strips. But here is your finished block. Now once all of your blocks are complete, you're going to lay them out according to this quilt layout diagram along with the background rectangles. And in the pattern it'll tell you exactly how many rectangles and what size you need, but as you can see, column 1 starts with a smaller rectangle at the top, and then a larger rectangle at the bottom of that column, and then column 2 has a larger rectangle at top and the smaller rectangle at bottom, and it repeats in this way so that all of the odd numbered columns will have the small rectangle at the top, and all of the even numbered columns will have the large rectangle at the top. This helps to create the staggered look of the blocks within the quilt. So you will sew your blocks and your background rectangles together into columns. Once your columns are complete, you will then piece sashing to go in between each of the columns and then on either side of the right and left side of the quilt to finish it off. So you will need 2 1.5 inch by width of fabric strips that you'll piece together and then trim down to 73.5 inches, or the length of your columns, to create your sashing sections. So those sashing sections will be sewn in between each column and then on either side of the finished quilt top. And once you're finished, you'll have a quilt top measuring 64 inches by 73.5 inches. Now as you can see, this is a simple to piece quilt top, but it's a fun modern design that I think will look good in pretty much any fabric. Now as I stated last month, if you would like the printable PDF for this pattern, you can go to my website materialgirlquilts.com and click on the Material Girl Society button to join the Material Girl Society, and you will have access to this pattern as well as a library of multiple other PDF patterns for quilts and other projects, a video library, online resources, as well as links to my favorite quilting tools, and you will also gain access to each new pattern as they're released every month. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please click the like button and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any tutorials going forward. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.